Dear students, we are now discussing on a very vivid topic. The name of the topic is input hypothesis. As you know, input hypothesis has been formulated or drafted by Stephen Krashen. And you should be aware of the fact that Stephen Krashen is a very popular linguist and researcher who has worked intensively in order to establish certain rules and regulations to acquire second language. He's a principal figure for monitor model or acquisition of second language. So as you know, out of the five hypotheses, or some of them even say there are six hypotheses, they term reading hypothesis as the sixth hypothesis. But just to keep it simple, there are five hypotheses concerned with the monitor model by Stephen Krashen or the theories of second language acquisition. One of the most prominent theories or one of the most prominent hypothesis is input hypothesis. Today, we'll discuss regarding input hypothesis. Whenever we say about input hypothesis, the first thing we need to mention is that it deals with a formula. The name of the formula is I plus 1 formula. So I is your current linguistic competence or it's your current standard. And when I say I plus 1, so you are definitely aware of the fact that there is a plus. So when I use the figure or when I use the symbol plus, definitely there is going to be an addition or increment. So naturally there is an escalation in the standard or there is an improvement in the standard. So when a student comes to the class, his current competence is I. For example, if you assume it to be I, and after the class it becomes I plus 1 because the person who is conducting the class or the teacher of second language acquisition is definitely having more competence than the students. So when the students come and attend the class, he or she acquires some new information, acquires some extra competence. So after the class, it becomes I plus 1. So when a student enters the classroom, he or she is just having information that he or she acquired till today. That's his current standard or current linguistic competence or linguistic proficiency. But after attending the class, which is just one step or more than one step higher than the current standard. Like, for example, before today's video, we didn't know much about input hypothesis. So, your current standard is just I. Let's assume it's I. But after the video or after this session, your improvement will be accessible. You will have some extra information, extra knowledge. So as you're having access to this extra information or as you're gaining this extra information, it is definitely adding to your current situation or current information, that is plus 1. We are talking about comprehensible input. Comprehensible input is the extra information that we provide to the student, which is just one step higher than the present linguistic ability. Like, for example, your linguistic ability is I. So, when you provide the comprehensible input, as you know, input is just the data, information, or the knowledge level that a teacher provides to a student. So, when this input is provided to you, naturally it becomes an extra advantage, an extra source of information, and that is what is termed as plus 1. So a comprehensible input is provided by a teacher, is provided by a researcher, so that you become knowledgeable, you gain extra information. That is what is known by comprehensible unit or comprehensible input. Like, for example, you see, when a person deals with input hypothesis, he or she should be aware of the fact that there's a fact or there's a piece of period called silent period. When a student comes to the class, he or she is not very much comfortable with the new topic because now he's acquiring English as a second language. So he doesn't know much about the language. Like, for example, a beginner or a child who is just acquiring English language or listening to English songs or musics, and you can say watching movies which can be dubbed or non-dubbed. So he or she is gaining something new. So he or she, that particular child or any student of second language acquisition, doesn't have the courage or doesn't have that much of information so that he or she can start speaking. But when he's listening, when he's understanding, he's comprehending the knowledge that has been provided or that is being provided from the video or that is being provided from the music, he or she feels a bit of confidence. So this This level of confidence which is added up, it's making him feel confident. So as a result of which, slowly or gradually, he can start being a good speaker, or he or she will start speaking. But before that, he's silent. When a student's when a student gets access to this new information, he doesn't have the courage to speak. He remains silent for a certain period of time, and that is termed as the silent period. Or he or she is not confident, he or she doesn't have that much courage to start speaking regarding what is being taught to him or her, or what is being said to her. So that is what is a phase of silent period. So you're listening to English track or music, or you're watching movies, web series, or whatever is accessible to you. So when you're listening, you are not being a good speaker, you are just getting the confidence, courage. So that is what is comprehensible unit. You are getting the input. You should have exposure as much as possible so that you get these inputs. These exposures are just input, it's giving you extra knowledge, idea, or you can say input or data. So as much as data you can gather, as much as information you gather, your confidence level is just being improvised, it is being escalated, it's being boosted. So naturally you get the courage to start speaking. First you apprehend, you comprehend, you gain the information, you get confidence, and then slowly you start speaking. You start, using English language as a fluent speaker. But at first, you do not have the confidence to speak. So that is what is the silent period. During this silent period, you just take in information, you gather information, and then slowly or gradually you become confident to deliver using English language. You become a fluent user, but that doesn't happen in a day. It happens in a sequential manner. You should expose yourself to English listening skills, other skills of English language you should practice. And then slowly, when these inputs are given to you every day, or it's given to you naturally or regularly, then you become habituated. You become accustomed to this sort of inputs. And then slowly you have the confidence to speak. So your current standard is just I. When the teacher teaches you, it becomes I plus one. This I plus one is just one step above your standard, one step above your competency. So that is what has been termed as I plus one theory, or input hypothesis, by Stephen Krashen. With the help of this theory, you can easily acquire second language. Here, English is your second language, so you can use English as a second language for communication and for other purposes, whichever suits you. But that has to be done on a systematic pattern, or in a pattern which will suit you well. Like for example, you're watching movie, you get an information, you're accessing something new, and the next day you become confident, and then what happens, you start speaking. But at first you need to take in the input, and that input is comprehensible input. After the input is available to you, you become confident, and then naturally you are ready to speak, to use English language as a second language. So that is what is termed as input hypothesis. You get the input, access the input, your level will become just one standard higher, that is plus one. So you become more and more confident. So your competency will gradually improve. But that has to be more regular. If you are regularly in touch with English language and its skills, then you become confident to use it. So I hope it's clear. The I plus one theory, or input hypothesis theory, by Stephen Krashen. Thank you.